catching you guys up on all the fun things I've been doing. And since I'm behind, we're doing May. I know it was a while ago, but I still think some of the things I did was very important that you all must know about. So let's start with TV. I really want to start with TV because I started and finished a whole series of Agent Carter on Disney Plus. I'm really just in the mood of watching all things Marvel. I was gonna start Daredevil, but it seemed kind of too intense. I'm like, I wanna go lighter. Let's do Agent Carter. Loved her and loved this show. It was so cute. And I'm so sad that it got canceled after only 2 seasons because, I mean, it had a cliffhanger that I really kind of want to know what happened. And there's just so much more they could have done. And she's freaking adorable. And I totally get now why people love her, because I want to be her. And I want to be her friend. And I want to hang out. And I want to dress like her and talk like her and kick butt like her. But alas, we will not have any more Agent Carter. I mean, maybe one day. I think every Marvel fan should watch them. And rolling with Marvel, I watched Moon Knight. Okay, now I know some people did not like it because it was really confusing. Totally agree. However, I loved it. I loved every second of this show, and I don't know why. It was just fun. He was great. How the story kind of like made no sense, but then kind of did make sense, and I just loved it. And I won't really get into spoilers, but I just think that you got to give this show a chance, going in with an open mind that it makes no sense. Have to say, this is probably my second favorite Marvel show after Hawkeye. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. The next show, I actually was just the final episode that I've been waiting to watch for months. I finally finished Sweet Magnolia. I don't think season 2 was as good as season 1, but still had some great moments in it. Definitely looking forward to season 3. And that's it for shows. Mostly Marvel, but welcome to my life. And I actually have a lot of movies for May. So let's start with The Time Traveler's Wife, which I watched on HBO in preparation for the show that's coming out. I kind of wanted to recap because after watching it, I'm not sure that I had ever really seen it before. Because Mom loves this book, loves this movie, and she's like, oh, let's rewatch it. I was like, okay, good. It's really good. Everybody in it is really good. So I watched that. Then I went to the theater and watched the new Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie. Whew! Whoa. That was a ride. And I was really, really worried that this movie would be too much multiverse, too confusing, too dark. And it wasn't. It was like the perfect amount of all those things. And it's coming to Disney Plus like any day now. So I'm really excited to rewatch it because I know that there's things that I missed, but I'm also just excited to watch it because it was good. And I'm still very curious about where the Marvel Universe is going, but I'm okay with this movie. Then I watched Along for the Ride on Netflix. Adorable. It's just one of those that I'm probably too old to be watching, but I just love these sweet and easy movies. Super cute. You guys, this is, looking at my list here, this is a lot of movies of cute rom-coms. Because I also watched Finding You. Now, this movie came out during the pandemic that I really wanted to watch, but I never really found it, and now it's out on Prime, actually, which I don't search as much as I should. And I just loved it. It takes place in Ireland, so I was like, oh, I've been there. You know, I felt so cool, but I think there's only like one part that I went to that they went to. Then in the theater again, I saw Dumbledore, I call this movie Dumbledore, but it's Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore. You know, I don't want to say the movies are getting not as good as the first one, but this definitely was not as good as the first one. But I do love Jude Law as Dumbledore. Oh man, he is so good. And this movie had a lot of fun, like creatures and stuff. And I was so glad to see Queenie back. But I have to say, not having Johnny Depp as Grindelwald kind of hurt the movie. Like, for me, it was just like, no, I don't. And that guy was good, don't get me wrong, but he didn't have that wizard flair to him that I like to see in characters in these movies. So, not the best, but it's still good. Then I watched The Rescuers for second Monday of the month movie night. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie. And it was weird, but like classic? Yeah, I probably won't be watching this one for a while. Rescuers Down Under is like a million times better. Then on Netflix, I watched Patsy and Loretta. I don't know how this one came on my list, but I have no regrets. It was really good because these two girls who play these country singers, it's Patsy Cline and Loretta Lynn, and are both Broadway people, and I love both of them. And this movie was done really well, and it tells like the story of how mainly Loretta Lynn came to be and a little bit Patsy Cline, and I just learned so much. Dang, I watched a lot of Netflix, I guess, because the next movie is Senior Year. This is new Rebel Wilson Netflix movie. You know, it wasn't terrible, but it was very classic Rebel Wilson and just terrible things that happened, and it's so cheesy and pretty predictable, but there's a dance number at the end, so that should tell you what kind of movie it is. And speaking of dance numbers, I watched Sneakerella on Disney+. This is a new musical movie that came out. It was cute. It is a spin on Cinderella, obviously, and it's fun because it's a guy playing the Cinderella character, and it's very modern and has some really cool moments. Is it my favorite of all the Cinderella movies? No, it's probably not even in the top 5 or top 10, but it's still very colorful. The songs are good, characters are cute. It's still very good. It's just, you know, I have very high standards when it comes to Cinderella retellings. And my last movie in the theater, which, oh gosh, I don't know if it was my favorite because I really like Multiverse, but let's say this is probably my favorite movie in the theater this month. I saw Downton: A New Era. Ugh, I love Downton so much, and I'm so excited that there's still movies, and this one was just as glamorous, and we get new locations, and the whole filming a movie at Downton was so, I just loved everything, and I just want to dress like them and be rich and fancy and someday. If you haven't watched Downton the show, do it, and then watch both movies because they're just so good, and they're just my favorite. I love it. And then the final movie I watched this month was another Netflix movie. I watched A Perfect Pairing. Rom-coms, I literally cannot get enough of them. They're just so easy to watch and light and fun, and I just feel good about myself and the world when I watch them. They make me happy. And this one did not disappoint. He's freaking adorable. She was really cute. And the story just makes me want to go just travel and drink wine and fall in love. So that's it for movies. So many movies, I know, but most of them are streaming movies, so everybody can go on Netflix and watch them if you're into rom-coms, because that's like 90% of what I watched this month. I also did one puzzle. I did Thomas Kincaid Aladdin puzzles. This is the second Aladdin puzzle I have from him. Yep. And I'm so glad to be back into puzzling because it's so just, makes my mind feel good. And I did take one little trip over Memorial Weekend. I went to Sedona, Arizona. Did a little road trip. It's nice to kind of get out, see the desert. It's just beautiful desert out there. So fun little family trip. Look how happy we are and how beautiful it is. And that was it for May. Looking at this list, I do feel like I'm missing something, but I don't know what it is. This May was forever ago, but bring on June, even though June's practically over by the time I put this video up. It's okay. My name's Aubrey. I make new videos every Thursday, so make sure you subscribe and follow me on all my social media, and I will see you guys next week. You guys, so many rom-coms. If anybody has any rom-com suggestions for me, please let me know because I am always on the hunt for more rom-coms. No regrets.